It's boating season just about every day here in the Lowcountry, but now is a time when local waters get particularly crowded. Well, here to share boating safety tips to live by during Boat Safety Week is Lieutenant Colin Morgan, Living Marine Resource Officer for the U.S. Coast Guard, and Division Commander Walter Brunk for the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Great to have you here. See a lot of boats out on the water all the time in the Lowcountry, but now we're starting to see more people recreationally boating, fishing, and all those things. Can we talk a bit about what statistics look like today versus maybe several years ago?
Absolutely. So we are seeing a all-time high in sales of boats, especially. We do have a lot of people moving to the Lowcountry, and with more people moving to the Lowcountry and increase in sales of boats, there's always going to be a concern for greater risks of people's safety and concern for boater safety being more widespread now that we have more people on the water in the Lowcountry.
That's right. And it's not just off our coast. We've got so many rivers and lakes.
Absolutely.
And it's just so many ways of getting out on the water. Want to also understand the distinction between the Coast Guard and the auxiliary. So I'm going to pose that question to you. So how does the auxiliary work with the U.S. Coast Guard?
Sure. The auxiliary is one of four parts of the Coast Guard. We have the active duty members, we have the reserves, we have the civilian employees of the Coast Guard, and we have the auxiliary, which are volunteers, mostly local folks who want to contribute to the Coast Guard missions in one way or the other, whether that be cooking in a galley or serving as a chaplain or working as a crew on a boat or an aircraft. Lots of opportunities for people to get involved in the Coast Guard's overall mission through the auxiliary.
And the mission stays the same between the two.
Absolutely, and
arms.
they facilitate a lot of our operations, and they do help shore up gaps that we have as a military service.
So tell us a bit more about that mission. What is the mission?
So overall, the Coast Guard does have 11 missions. One of those is icebreaking, so I can tell you right now that we don't do that down here, but of all the other missions we do in the Lowcountry,
sure.
I'm sure you'll know the Coast Guard's bread and butter mission is search and rescue.
Yeah.
But a lot of what we do is marine safety, so vessel inspections on some of those big container ships you see coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And we also do all types of law enforcement on the water. We do protect our living marine resources, which is my job.
Right.
So saving the sea turtles and cleaning up our shores.
Yes.
We do and a multitude of other missions, maintaining our aids to navigation, our buoys, our lighthouses, and stuff like that.
Well, clearly you've been doing a wonderful job, because year over year we've seen less accidents, less deaths. But one thing that I find interesting is that what is the highest contributing factor to boating deaths is the use of alcohol. So do you tend to see that, Commander? Do you tend to see a lot of people over imbibing on the water?
You see it, regrettably, you see it in the statistics.
Yeah.
Most people that are killed in boating accidents drown.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that drown weren't wearing life jackets, and a huge percentage of those incidents involve alcohol one way or the other, either the victim or the operator.
Yeah.
So part of our message is that the alcohol probably needs to wait until you get back to the dock.
Absolutely.
Tell us about some of the other safety tips that people should keep in mind, and some of the resources that are at hand for people to stay safe.
So it is important to acknowledge that life jackets, as Walter mentioned before, are extremely important. And as a matter of fact, nationwide in 2023, of all boating fatalities that occurred, 85% of them did occur to people that were not wearing life jackets.
Goodness.
So
you're required to have vests on every boat.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
And our biggest recommendation is go to your local marine supply store and purchase life jackets for all the people you intend to have on board. Mm-hmm. Because the truth is, when emergencies do occur, one of the last things you are thinking about is putting on a life jacket and zipping it up. So if you already have it on, board, that's great. Please have it on and wear it, because it's going to almost guarantee your safety.
Do you ticket or pull people over? I don't know if you pull people over, you stop them.
So by law, they are required, yeah.
Safety courses, is that required?
Yeah. You want to talk about South Carolina DNR's boating safety course?
Yeah, if you're going to be operating a boat above a certain horsepower level in South Carolina, you need to take that boating safety course if you are below a certain age. So we're trying to make sure that we're training people early enough that they can get this into their muscle memory on how to operate a boat safely. And that's one of the things the auxiliary does, along with several other agencies around the state. We teach low-cost boating safety courses for people that maybe have never been out there but want to learn a little bit before they get underway. And for those, we teach in person, either at the Coast Guard station on Tradd Street or at the Daniel Island Library
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
That's a one-day class.
That's a one-day class. All right. And then you say to just know your boating laws. So before you get out on the water, just know what the laws are so that you're adhering to them and then you don't become another statistic, right?
Absolutely.
So where are some of the resources that people should be drawn to?
Yeah, South Carolina DNR or the U.S. Coast Guard main website.
Okay.
Will
We're going to direct
point
our
you towards
viewers.
recreational boating
Okay,
safety.
we're going to direct our viewers. Also, make sure you check the weather, you dress properly, all those common sense safety tips that tend to elude us sometimes when we're out looking for some fun. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay safe. We're back after this.